What if you lost everything, your freedom, your wealth, even control over your own body? Would life still be worth living? For most of us, the answer is no. But for Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who began life as a slave, the answer was a powerful yes. Today, we'll uncover 10 life-changing lessons from Epictetus. Lessons that can free your mind, give you strength in adversity, and show you how to live with unshakable peace. Stay until the end, because these are not just ideas, they are tools to transform your life. Epictetus was born around 55 AD in Hierapolis, in what is now Turkey. He was born a slave. His master was a cruel man, and even as a young boy, Epictetus suffered hardship. Some stories say he was beaten so badly that he walked with a limp for the rest of his life. But here's what makes his story extraordinary. Even in chains, he discovered a kind of freedom his master could never take away: the freedom of the mind. Eventually, Epictetus gained his liberty and began to study philosophy. He opened a school in Greece, teaching students that true wealth and freedom come not from possessions or status, but from controlling what is within your power. He never wrote a single book himself, but his student Arion recorded his teachings in works like the Discourses and the Enchiridion. These writings are still read today as some of the most practical guides to living well. Epictetus's life is proof of the Stoic idea. You may not control what happens to you, but you always control how you respond. 10 life lessons from Epictetus. 1. Focus on what you can control. Epictetus taught the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us, others are not. You don't control the weather, your reputation, or other people's choices, but you control your thoughts, your actions, your character. Freedom begins when you stop wasting energy on what you cannot change. 2. Adversity reveals strength. Born a slave, Epictetus knew suffering firsthand, but he believed challenges were not punishments, but training. Difficulties show what men are. Your struggles are not chains, they are weights that build your inner strength. 3. Wealth is not in possessions, but in character. Epictetus lived simply, often with little more than a cloak, a lamp, and his mind. He taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The richest man is the one who desires the least. 4. Freedom is an inner state. Even as a slave, Epictetus said he was free because no master could control his thoughts. True freedom doesn't come from money or status. It comes when your happiness no longer depends on things outside yourself. 5. Don't fear death. Epictetus reminded his students death is natural, and fearing it only enslaves us. He taught, I cannot escape death, but I can escape the fear of it. Accepting death allows you to live more fully today. 6. Your mind is your kingdom. Epictetus believed that the way we interpret events, not the events themselves, determines our happiness. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your mind is your kingdom. Guard it well. 7. Practice self-discipline. He lived with little and practiced self-control, not as punishment, but as preparation. If you can master your desires, your appetites, your impulses, then no external force can master you. 8. See setbacks as opportunities. Epictetus compared life to wrestling. The opponent makes you stronger. Obstacles aren't walls, they're chances to train resilience. When life knocks you down, remember, this is practice. 9. Happiness comes from living in accord with nature. To Epictetus, living well meant aligning your actions with reason, virtue, and the natural order of the universe. Peace comes not from bending the world to your will, but from flowing with life as it is. 10. No one can harm you without your consent. Epictetus said, "Others can insult you, hurt your body, or take your possessions, but they cannot harm your soul unless you let them. Your dignity, your virtue, your peace of mind, these are untouchable unless you hand them over." Epictetus began life in chains, yet he discovered a freedom that emperors and kings could never touch. He showed us that true power isn't in riches or titles. It's in the strength of your character, the control of your mind, and the peace that comes from living according to virtue. If a man born a slave could rise to become one of the greatest philosophers in history, what excuse do we have? If you enjoyed this content, give it a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with new videos we upload every week.